The movie begins where we see a man wake up from a car accident and is badly injured. He goes towards the road to find help and sees a car coming and tries to stop it. The car comes towards him and stops after some time, and the man goes to check it. He finds the driver of the car has strange white eyes and is dead also and gets scared. He takes her phone and calls the police for help, who ask him his name, but he is unable to remember it. He takes out his wallet and finds his driving license, which tells his name is Liam. Suddenly a crow falls on the car and has died with same white eyes, and Liam runs from there. He goes in a restaurant and finds all people are dead there with same eyes and sees a car come there. He goes outside and finds the driver is dead and covers his mouth with his shirt, thinking there is a virus in air. He finds a map to locate his home address and travels to find his house and breaks glass to go in his house. He comes to know he works in construction and suddenly remembers that he was on a boat. He takes a bath and hears the news, which says that something in the air might have killed the people at the restaurant. He tapes the broken glass on the door and sees a man approaching his house and warns with a sign to not come here. The man does not listen and starts walking towards him, but suddenly his eyes turn white and he dies. Liam is shocked to see this and tries to write all things he knows and remembers. Suddenly, he hears a bird making noise outside, and he decides to test something. He starts slowing walking towards the crow and sees the crow die as he goes near it. He comes to know he is killing everyone when he goes near them and measures his distance to the crow. He then measures how much distant the man from his house was when he died and sees a car coming and runs so they are safe. He finds a woodshed and decides to stay there to avoid any more deaths. Later he sees a police car come to his home, who have found his crashed car and have come to find him. Liam hides from the police to save them, and when one police officer sees birds die, they decide to leave the place. Later he remembers driving his car and having accident and wakes up to hear someone coming. He sees a woman is looking for him and warns her not to come close and stay where she is. The woman asks if his name is Liam and suddenly knocks on the door, and Liam is surprised. She is not dead. He opens the door and the woman says she was in his car with him and asks if he remembers her name. Liam says he didn't see anyone when he woke up from the accident, and the woman says he also does not remember anything other than his name. Liam sees a dog come near him and not die, and they decide to go in the house to look for answers. The woman says she heard the police says the car belonged to Liam and found his address to get some answers. The woman believes there is no virus in the air and searches the things in house for answers. Liam suddenly remembers they were together on a bridge near Smithburg and locate it nearby and decide to go to it. They take a car and the woman tells Liam can call her Jane till she remembers her name. They arrive at the bridge but can't remember anything, and Liam says he feels he knows her somehow. Suddenly Jane remembers that she on the bridge with Liam and holding a paper which flew in the river. She is upset she can't remember more, and Liam tells her to calm down, and they decide to visit the accident site to look for more answers. They arrive at the location and see a big black circle on the ground which looks like everything burned in it. Liam remembers something and asks Jane where she woke up, and Jane goes to the other side of the circle. Liam realizes something and tells Jane that people are dying when they get close to him, and that's why he is hiding in the shed. He believes he is cured now since Jane has come, as no one had died, and she is also affected with something the same way he has. Jane does not believe him and gets scared and runs from there, but Liam tries to stop her. He says it is safe now, but Jane thinks this thing would come back and kill her. Suddenly a police officer finds them arguing and stops them, and Jane decides to go from there. The officer recognizes Liam and asks him to surrender, but suddenly falls and dies. Liam sees that when Jane walked away from him, the police officer got killed, and he runs to stop Jane. He tells her to come with her, and they go a nearby field which has a deer, and Liam asks her to walk away from him. As she moves further, the deer drops dead, and Liam tells Jane that whenever she is near him, things don't die. Liam says they should go to a hospital, but Jane says she was in the hospital after the accident and they found nothing on her. Liam says they need to get a CT scan done to see what's wrong with him and decide to go to a small hospital. When the doctor checks Liam, he gets a flashback writing something in a book and gets a CT scan. Jane decides to stay near him and the scan gets done and Liam asks if she saw something, but she replies no. Liam sees the news where they have the dead body of the police officer and decide to leave from there. They see some police have come here and meet the doctor, who says he found nothing wrong in the scan. They run from there but get separated when Jane looks at a missing persons list and Liam enters a lift. Jane remembers she had a missing person paper with her photo on the bridge and realizes Liam is not with her. Liam tells everyone on the lift to get out on the next floor, and Jane follows the lift down so one is killed. She finds him on the lower floor, and they get out of there and find an abandoned property, and Jane tells she has been missing and the paper she found. The next day, Jane hears news on radio, where she comes to know her real name is Rose, and her husband Sam is looking for her. Jane tells Liam they should go and meet Sam to find answers, but Liam says it won't be safe, but Jane convinces him to join her. They find Sam and Jane tells him to trust her and get in the car and explain the entire situation. Sam does not believe them and says Liam might be a terrorist who has brainwashed Jane. Liam tells Sam to watch some pigeons, and when Liam walks away from Jane, they fall and die. Sam gets scared and believes them and takes them to his garage to hide there for a few days. Sam decides to hide their car and Liam and Jane hear some news where it says they might a couple. Liam finds the missing person paper which has Jane's face and name as Lily and also she is missing from a year. When Sam comes, Jane asks her about this and she shows her a photo saying Jane has a twin sister. He says she went missing a year ago and still hasn't been found and Jane got depressed. Jane tried to find her sister on her own and we see after not finding her decided to jump off the bridge and die. She meets Liam there who saved her life and convinced her not to jump and offers to drop her at her home. Jane remembers all this and even tells Liam about how he saved her life and thanks him. Later, Sam finds Jane sleeping on Liam's lap and feels angry and asks her what's their relation. Jane says she knows Liam better than Sam and Liam sees a photo of a lake and remembers something. He remembers talking about his house near a lake to Jane in the car and asks Sam for a map. He finds the location and they decide to go there, but Sam says it's not safe going there alone without him. Jane says police will feel suspicious if all three disappear, and Jane finds a book in which Sam has written notes on how Rose was. Jane thanks him, and Sam tells them to leave immediately since he got angry and called the cops. They hear the police has come, and Sam goes outside and get arrested, and Liam and Jane leave from back door. They are caught by the police and are separated and taken in different directions. Liam and Jane shout and tell them not to separate them, but the police doesn't listen and separates them. When Liam is far away from Jane, everyone near him dies and he feels sad and cries. He goes to and finds Jane, and Sam finds the keys to handcuffs and frees her. Sam decides to stay back and tell everyone what happened and asks them to leave from there. They run from there in a car, and later at a gas station they see a news where a satellite has malfunctioned. They see the satellite produce some lighting and believe this has to be linked to what is happening to them. They leave from there and a car follows them and they arrive at the house near the lake. The next morning Liam feels that there might not be a cure for what has happened to them and goes outside for a walk. While trying to start fire, Jane finds an old book inside and Liam decides to go boating in the lake. He remembers something and Jane finds the book has many missing girls posters in it, including her sister. She remembers Liam asking about her sister the night of the accident when she hadn't told him anything. Liam remembers pushing a dead body in the lake, and we come to know Liam is a serial killer. His next target was Rose, and, in the car, he tried to inject her to make her unconscious. Jane tried to fight him and Liam lost balance of the car and had the accident. After the accident, she tried to run from him, but Liam said she won't be able to find her sister. We see both of them get stuck by lighting from the satellite, and we see how the black circle was formed. Liam also remembers everything and vomits, feeling disgusted, and Jane comes there holding a gun. Jane asks Liam where is her sister and cannot believe Liam is a killer and cries. Liam apologizes to her and says he believed he was a good man and didn't know about his past. Jane takes him back to the house, and they are attacked by some men from the gas station. Liam runs from there, and they ask him to stop, but Liam purposely moves away, which kills 2 men. Jane runs away from another person who shoots and injures her, and dies when Liam comes near him. Liam sees Jane is badly injured, and decides to take her to a hospital and drives her there. At the hospital, Liam gives Jane to the doctors who take her away for treatment. Liam takes out his gun and shoots himself to end this, and Jane feels sad and cries on hearing the gun.